What is the difference between historical iconoclasm and urban fallism? We will start with the historic roots and then reflect on the Black Lives Matter movement. A statue is more than its material content. Statues carry the power of symbolism. By placing a statue at a public site, viewers are expected to honor and respect the person represented larger than life size. Statues are ideological powerhouses that compress whole systems of authority into bodies of bronze or marble. They are only as powerful as the human will that keeps them in place. From the Protestant Reformation to the American War of Independence, image breaking has served as a powerful demonstration of a break with the old order. It has long been believed that images have power. As such, the practice throughout history has been to destroy certain pieces of art in an effort to gain political or cultural significance by taking it from another. This practice dates back millennia, from the Akkadians to the ancient Egyptians to the Roman Empire. This practice of image breaking was so widespread that there is a period in history, in the 8th and 9th centuries, called the Byzantine iconoclasm. This refers to a time when the emperor and Orthodox Church powers decided that religious imagery and iconography was thought to be unacceptable, despite the Pope's continued support of the use of such images. The resulting power struggle split political control across the empire and ended with the destruction of an unknown number of artworks. Not many examples of such destruction exist, thanks to the thoroughness of their efforts, though the Hagia Irene demonstrates the practice. A simple cross is shown where there once would have been an extensive scene. This struggle was of such significance that there are numerous depictions of the acts of destruction themselves. Throughout history, iconoclasm has been the philosophical and conscious rejection by the destruction of symbols, icons, and statues which carry religious values within a culture. A Dutch example of iconoclasm is the statue storm, which began in 1566. In this time, fanatic Protestants destroyed statues, altarpieces, and other symbols in Catholic churches. Their first reason to do this was that these pieces were, in their opinion, a destruction of the truth. Secondly, the Catholic Spanish lords were restricting their ability to practice their Protestant faith. This act of vandalism and destruction of religious icons of other cultures is still happening today.
Sledgehammers, drills, and bare hands. The weapons used by ISIS in its latest demonstration of destruction.
Now that certain movements have changed the use of iconoclasm for other purposes besides religious ones, we can say that iconoclasm is a philosophical and conscious rejection by the destruction of symbols, icons, and statues which carry cultural and historic values within a nation. The Black Lives Matter movement, founded in 2013, has initiated a new form of global socio-political protest, which is characterized by spatial practices of occupying, modifying, and pulling down monuments in public spaces. This new way of protesting has been named urban fallism. A now famous example of modern iconoclasm, or urban fallism, is the Cape Town University-based Rhodes Must Fall movement, and their efforts to take down a statue of British imperialist and former Cape Town Prime Minister Cecil Rhodes in 2015. The Rhodes Must Fall movement was not just one against a statue that represents imperialism. It was against the entire colonized education system of Cape Town and South Africa. The Black Lives Matter movement, much like the movement in Cape Town, uses urban fallism as a way to eradicate images of white supremacy, and by doing so, is trying to win immediate improvements in the lives of those oppressed because of the color of their skin. Cases of urban fallism have since occurred in the Netherlands as well. In June of 2020, multiple statues were vandalized in Rotterdam city centre. Among them were a statue of West India Company Lieutenant General Piet Hein and a statue of politician Pim Fortuyn. In conclusion, iconoclasm has long been a way for people to rebel against oppressive systems. Historically, we've seen this with the Akkadians, the Byzantine iconoclasm, and the Bildensturm. The Black Lives Matter movement and their toppling of statues illustrate that these acts of vandalism are still taking place today, but have shifted from being largely religiously motivated to focusing on society-wide forms of oppression. Statues represent certain ideologies of aspects of history, and once the public demolishes these statues, they lay the foundation for a rewritten history.
I feel elated, excited. I'm full of pride as well. I feel really, really proud. I shed a tear, which took me by surprise. But yeah, it's really emotional.